posted a video in a little bit of time, and I've been receiving a lot of emails regarding so many different topics, but a lot of them following a common thread. So I wanted to tackle all of them in this video. I realize, I know you can't see my full outfit, that today I literally look like my mother. No offense to my mom, but I really don't try and look so motherly. Like, I don't even know what I'm wearing today, but it looked so much less like my mom in my head. So a lot of you guys have been reaching out, asking me for advice on a few different topics, whether that's the fear of taking the leap when it comes to going back to school or moving out or taking a gap year, also being really kind of petrified about what to do with your life if you're coming to the end of college or high school. And a lot of you guys are also reaching out looking for advice on how to take the leap and not be scared of it and not have a lot of anxiety with it. So even though I'm not going to college, I've done all of these certain things, and I've taken the leap and I've started a company and I moved out at a really young age. And so because of that, I have so much experience with these different topics and talking to you guys all the time. And so I really wanted to help you with it. So my number one piece of advice when it comes to the topic of getting over the fear of moving out or kind of starting something new or taking a gap year, realize that nothing is permanent. So many of you, and maybe it's because of social media or who you're looking up to online, I think a lot of you guys think that you have to do something and you have to make it be so big. So when I talk to so many young people, I get this impression that many of you are only looking at the end goal, whether you want to just be incredibly successful. Obviously we all do, whether you want to make a lot of money, whether you really want to help the world. You're thinking about it in such a broad picture that you're not really focusing on the steps that you have to get there. So by taking the leap and doing something like taking a gap year or moving out or studying abroad, whatever it is that you want to do, you're getting yourself closer in the end scheme of things to that goal. But there's many things that have to come in between then. And doing all of the things that I just mentioned, none of them are permanent. So start thinking about ways that you can train your mind, whether that's through just listening to this video all the time or looking through my old work or looking online to kind of your idol stories. And think about everything as just a 3-month fix. So if you're scared to move out and get an apartment and you just don't know what to do or what your purpose is, think of it as like you're going on a little vacation. If you have the money to afford an apartment for a few months or even 1 month, or you're gonna live on somebody's couch, whatever it is, don't think of it like you're moving out and you're never going back home. If your parents are making you move out or whoever you live with is making you move out and you can't go back home, then that's a different story. But if you are simply nervous to move out, you don't have to think that you're gonna move out and move into a mansion, and if you don't have a mansion in like a week that you're not successful or you're gonna fail. Stop thinking like that and think of everything as just a small stepping stone towards that goal. And with that comes being really uncomfortable. So last week I posted a quote, yesterday actually, on Instagram, talking about how important it is to be uncomfortable. Last week I had a little bit of a situation come up that threw me in a different direction, and over the past year between working on the summit and my podcast and my other show, I realized that I did get really comfortable in this groove and I really like to be in a routine. And then when this happened, I realized that I had stopped kind of thinking about what was going to come next. Even though I knew all of these things were just stepping stones, I had gotten so comfortable in this routine that when something happened, I was a little bit taken aback, and I think maybe got a little more upset personally with myself than I should have. So if you guys really can just think of life and put it all in perspective and just think of things as very small stepping stones towards that end goal instead of these huge leaps, then I think you'll be a lot happier. I know so many of you have so much anxiety if you don't know what you want to do when you're older, you don't know what your purpose is. And my advice for those of you who are struggling with that, and I say it over and over and over, is you need to start doing more things that make you uncomfortable. And they can be very small things. But if you are struggling with not knowing your purpose, why don't you start a group at your school, at your college, on meetup.com that literally is titled, I'm struggling with not knowing what to do, come to this group and let's talk about it. And by doing something like that, even though that might be a little bit like weird, maybe some of you are gonna kind of be like, why would I do that? you need to start exploring other people and understanding the world, and that's how you find your purpose. This kind of stuff does not happen overnight. I hate when I see young people comparing themselves to online people or like celebrities or stuff, because you're only seeing that person now. Like, you guys are only seeing me now, and from my perspective, I feel like I've been working for so many years and I'm finally seeing a little bit of success for myself, and there was years before this period where I am now, but you're just seeing me now talking about how much I found my purpose and stuff, but there was years before this. So you can't try and compare yourself to somebody else or one of your friends or something, because you have no clue what they necessarily did to get to where they are today, or if they are really happy. So when it comes to finding your purpose and your passion, you really just need to keep exploring and finding yourself. Get a journal, start doing something every week that's a little bit different. Like, say you were going to one gym, for example, why don't you start going to another gym that's down the street, or start going to a different coffee shop? I know you might think like, how is that going to help me find my purpose? But that helps you find your purpose because you're learning about yourself. You might realize that you're getting to this gym and you hate working out, or you hate using this piece of equipment, and then you might stand in front of this piece of equipment that you hate at this new gym for 10 minutes and realize you want to start a company that's like a gym company. The littlest things like that just get you out of your comfort zone really help you get towards your purpose. And when it comes to also finding your purpose, if there's certain things that you want to do or that you're just scared to do, like I said at the beginning of this video, don't think of all of these things as permanent things. If you start a little side hustle or a company or whatever, and it quote unquote fails, even though I hate the word failure, nothing is a failure to me, or you don't make any money of it, okay, how many things did I start before my podcast and my summit and before I got myself my own show that failed? I had an app that failed. I was doing so many different things just to even try and make money that to anyone else would have been a failure. But look at where I am now. You have to fail to get successful, and finding your dream job is such a specific task, and it's such a heavy task to try and accomplish, because even when you find your dream job, you never know what's going to come next. Like I said, you have to continue to be uncomfortable. I think it's so important that even if you're working an awesome job that you love, you can always do something on the side, writing or blogging or running or starting a little jewelry company, anything that you even feel moderately passionate about, because you never know with that dream job how quickly things can change. When it comes to finding your dream job, you need to put yourself out there. I've had a lot of you reach out and ask about how you can find your dream job, but you don't have the time to find your dream job because you have to work to afford an apartment, or you want to take an internship but it's unpaid. You can't. Here's what I say. The topic of money is such a also heavy topic, but really so irrelevant. I wish that things weren't so expensive, especially for you guys who are just moving out or going to college or in debt, because there's so many things I know many of you would love to do, but financially it's so difficult, especially when you're just starting out. If you can find something you're really passionate about, you will make time. So you might have to work 6 days a week, every single day at a coffee shop, and do like side work to have Sundays where you can just take it to yourself and do something that you love, and that helps towards finding your purpose. If you find yourself lazy or really thinking like, I should be paid for all of this work that I'm doing, sometimes yes, you should be, but also when you're just starting out, you are starting at the bottom. I did so many unpaid for internships. I worked I'm not gonna say the word, but I worked so hard, and I still do, and especially at the beginning of my career, because I was so incredibly passionate about it. And I was really just even more passionate about being successful and being happy and inspiring people. I didn't know at that time what I was passionate exactly about. I didn't know that my career would evolve to where it is now and that I would stop writing about fashion, but I just knew that I wanted, like, I was so passionate about being passionate, and that's kind of the drive. So if you're not passionate about one specific topic, why don't you just think about being passionate about being passionate? Like, you want to wake up every day realizing that you're on the path to being passionate about something, and so all the little things that you're doing should add up to your happiness, even if they don't necessarily follow one specific path or pattern. There's still so many things that you can be doing and even just thinking about that will make you happier. So if you haven't found your dream job, don't get too frustrated. I know that it's so hard to say that, but I never think it's a bad idea to continue to reach out to people via email to find companies that you really like. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes you have to email thousands of companies. Literally, I'm giving you guys my personal experience, thousands of companies to get one yes, even if it means going to the grocery store and taking pictures of cool brands that you like, or going to Urban Outfitters and taking pictures of candles and then going online and looking up candle brands. You never know what opportunity might come your way if you're open to it. Because we all get so stuck in this mindset about being so adamant about like, I'm so mad I don't have a purpose, or I'm not passionate about anything. You forget that you can't be passionate about something if you're so unhappy with yourself. So stop beating yourself up and being so mad and thinking like, I'm so confused, I don't know what to do. And instead of doing that, think about what you want out of life. You eventually want to be happy and passionate about something, and therefore you have to find what that thing is. And beating yourself up and being really mad at yourself is not going to help you find that. So I think it's a really good idea to kind of evaluate also certain companies that you really like and what they've done. If there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this video, it's just that nothing is permanent. If you take the leap and you realize you hate moving out, move back home. If you start writing a book and you realize you hate writing, stop writing and start running. Who cares? But nothing is permanent. Even if you're at the top of your career, even if you are the happiest person in the entire world, you can easily let something go and make room for something else, even if you don't know what that thing is. So I hope this really helps you guys going back to school who are struggling with these kind of topics, or even just in general if you're not going back to school and you're just not super sure about what to do. On a side note, the Be Fearless Summit, I am hoping to have an announcement by next Friday about which school I'm going to be proceeding with. I've actually got a few offers from different schools that I wasn't expecting, and I officially hired somebody too to help with the summit, which is really cool. Also kind of nerve-wracking because it's weird to be 21 and hiring somebody, but I'm somebody besides like my assistant or my manager or my publicist, I don't know, but it's still quite exciting. So I appreciate all of your support for this, and that just stemmed out of one idea that I worked on for a year to even make that summit happen, and it just stemmed from literally me writing down one day that I wanted to start a summit. It didn't happen overnight. I started the summit. I had no clue what the summit was even going to become, but I executed it because I told myself I wanted to make something out of this idea. Even if nobody had showed up that day, I still did it. And you want to follow through on everything. And I can't wait to meet more of you guys at the next summit. I'm getting so excited about it. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and see you soon. Bye.